Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's the brother Abba from the DC Church coming at you, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kodash, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, by Hashem meaning in the name, or call meaning spirit, Kodash meaning holy. All right, these are the names of the powers that I come to in order to profess the 100% truth and Lord's will, seal the elect's faith. Shenya Kabag, Gawela Rakaza, Kanyaba Aith, meaning double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS in these times, whom the Heavenly Father had enlisted the 100% truth to. And Shalom, Mubarakam, Abakar, and Shashala, peace and blessings be upon the elect of the nation of Israel. And to the men out there that's pushing this word of sincerity and the truth, to you I say Shalom, Mubarakam, Atham, peace and blessings be upon you. Now, without further ado, I just wanted to make a quick video of, look how the tables are turned. Look at the position that Esau, Edom is in. And to be honest with you, we haven't even really faced anything super duper detrimental. The scriptures say that we haven't drawn blood striving against sin. So we haven't gotten to the point to where, guns are drawn on us and we're being thrown in internment camps and what have you. We're not even at that point yet. We're in the beginning stages of that time frame. And you have Esau, Edom, who's just losing their marbles, man. And we love to see this. Now, whether this is fictional or non-fictional, or whether this interaction or whether this video is true or not, or whether it's fabricated or not, doesn't necessarily matter, because he is voicing essentially how everyone feels in this standing point of time. Your average middle class and, lower middle class American, all right, which make up the majority of America. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna get into a couple of precepts.
Live. Let me get this straight. work, $80 in gas, work, groceries, keep myself alive. Bounce house, $250. Work, unexpected bill, debt, work, pay off debt, work, pay off mistake from 5 years ago, pay off more debt, work, be tired, work some more, work more. I'm tired of donating my life. Work and pay bills and pay off debt. I'm paying off mistakes from years ago. Who gives a crap that you're tired? Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're tired. The bills don't care. Work and pay bills and work and pay debt and work and pay bills and work.
Which, you got the point. You can see how Esau has fallen victim to his own system. All right, this is the system that your people have created, so you can't really even be upset. The thing is, if you're an Edomite and you're not taking advantage of the privilege that you have in this world, it's really too bad for you. You can go out there and you can become anything you want to become. All right, because the scriptures do say that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You're gonna have to defile your body. Not to say that you're already not defiled, but you're gonna have to do some things that are unforeseen. But hey, look, there's no reason why you should be complaining and crashing out on social media, and you're an Edomite. You've lost. Okay? But the fact of the matter is that you can see how the senile laugh, underhandedly, it's like to laugh to keep from crying, of the constant overwhelming burden of having to work and never being able to rest. And I'm thinking of Salat.
All right, given all.
Thinking of no rest Wicked. Damn. I'm not sure where that's at. You see, I think this KJVA. And the route of wicked shall not rest. I might have read right over it. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot. Okay, it says, lay not wait, O wicked man, but the wicked are like the troubled sea. When it cannot rest, those waters cast up mire and dirt. Oh, that's a good one too, but that's not what I'm thinking. That's not the precept that I'm thinking of. Nevertheless, I read that Isaiah chapter 57, verse 20. It says, but the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. And right, y'all not gonna be able to have peace and safety, okay? For all the turmoil that Esau has perpetuated, has put in this earth, whether you're directly a part of it or your ancestors are, you still are in every which way benefiting from the system in which your ancestors have created around enslaving the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now, this isn't primarily about Esau, Edom, but it's just a shame. It's just like, dog, like, who the hell is going to pity Esau when he has all the power in the world to do whatever the fuck he wants to do? And now you got Esau crashing out. This how you know America's on the brink of really, really, really going down the shithole, man. If you got Esau crashing out. It's ridiculous, man. There's Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And it says, at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Now, we know that this is talking about deliverance of the elect and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. But right now, we're in the beginning stages of entering into the times that have never been seen before. Now, gas prices, I can attest, gas prices are fucking ridiculous. But it's more of the reason for you to sit your ass at home and just relax. If you ain't going to the gym, or you're not going to the grocery store, going to work, it is heavily advised now for you to just relax. And I ain't saying, you're gonna have your time when you go out and cope with this depressive world by, being a little bit social. But the fact of the matter is that, dog, as time progresses, things are not going to increasingly get better. It's actually just going to get more worse than it already is. All right. And what really tells you that is 2 Ezra chapter 14, verse, let's start at 14. It says, let go from the immortal thoughts and cast away the burdens of man and put off now the weak nature. And right, that's why when these things start to happen, we're not crashing out or going on social media complaining about the conditions of this world. If anything, we welcome it. And the reason why we welcome it is because we understand that these things must happen prior to us receiving exactly what we're looking for, which is salvation at the hands of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach out of the conditions that are present. Now, for Esau, Edom, they have no succor. If you've lived your life in this world benefiting from your skin tone and not just your skin tone, but just legitimately the wickedness that is already created in this environment, and even just the monetary system is all catered toward the upliftment of Esau Edom. You're granted things that Jake will never be able to put their hands on, and it's because the world is giving it to you. All right. You're able to open doors and go to certain places that Jake will never be able to. All right. I remember I used to work at UPS, and me and a couple other brothers, we were working there for a good enough amount of time, and we wanted this position where it's like basically a sorter. So you got the people who bust down the trucks, and then you got the people who basically sort the the packages that come off the truck, which is a way less laborious job. And me and a couple of bros that work there, we busting our asses coming in there at 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were promised that we would get this position. Edomite comes on the job and he automatically becomes a sorter. So that's just one of the many examples. Even when I work security, the same thing kind of happened where I've been there for a couple of, I'd say a couple of months, well, close to a year and some change. And then this Edomite just comes and he becomes a supervisor over me. And I've been doing this work, and I've been doing the work the whole time, teaching people how to do their job and what have you. It's just that we're never going to get the recognition that we truthfully deserve, because this world is given into the hands of Esau, Edom. And I'll even say this too, even in positions that brothers do have, good jobs, we're still not going to be granted certain positions because we don't have the complexion or the connection. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, Esau is not going to let you get that position unless, you cooning out. A lot of times you see the managers, they be light skinned, blue eyes, Jake, house niggas essentially, because they're more apt to do the things that Esau, Edom would want them to do and sell out. Nevertheless, this ain't about that. It says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. And that's what we're doing. And that's why we welcome prophecy. Okay. If we got to pay $120 for some gas and we that much closer to Yahweh Shai making his return, hey, look, so fucking be it. I guess I'll stay my ass in the house. And then fuck it. I'll buy myself a scooter and I goddamn scoot my way to work. It's just all about us leaving America and being able to depart from America. Okay. So it says, let me see. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Okay, so we're seeing things go on, and we're seeing the evil of the world, and we're seeing these atrocities happen, and we're seeing the monetary system, and America's debt go up and up and up. Okay, but we're not even at the climax of this thing. We're just in a rise in action. All right, before the climax actually comes, because it's going to get way worse. It's going to get to a point of desperation to where people are actually welcoming the chip, all right, the MOTB. And right now, you just can't get your Cheez-Its. You can't get some hot Cheetos with a Diet Coke. Okay? Maybe it's good that the prices went up so that you have more of a vegetable-centric diet. Okay? It says, for the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasteth the vision to come, which thou hast seen. Okay? And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the vision to manifest itself. All right? Just like Habakkuk said, he that make the vision plain upon tables, so he may run that readeth. All right? And we're seeing the vision actually come to life. We're seeing the manifestation of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach through the way of prophecy being fulfilled. Okay? And then what else we got? I got a couple more precepts. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. It says, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. Right? And we know exactly where we are. We know exactly what's going on. Now, the more specified details are what we need to edify each other on, because those are the things that are going to, cater into our belief. And again, those specified details manifest themselves in us being able to correlate those things back to the Bible and back to biblical prophecy. It enhances our faith. All right. Now it says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. When they shall say peace and safety, Then shall sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right. So this debt that these Americans are falling into, and these situations of contention that people are falling into, going to the supermarket and you end up getting called the N-word, or not being able to pay for your food. So now you got a lot of individuals who are disgruntled because they can't buy their kids Doritos and hot Cheetos anymore. It's not going to get better for you. And you had DJ Trump basically saying America is in the best condition that it's been in a very long time, but it's actually not. They're blowing smoke up your patootie, man. All to gaslight you into thinking that you know what? It actually isn't that bad. All right. And just because you make an extra dollar and inflation goes up, it's really like you did, or excuse me, and products are being inflated, you're not really making money. You're not making any extra money. A lot of Americans are still living check to check. If that. All right. But it says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Let us not sleep as do others. Let us watch and be sober. And that's really what we're required to do. Okay. Make sure we're watching, we're looking, we're being cognizant of what's going on, and we're very aware of what's going on, because again, you don't want to fall too far into being in the world and not being able to pick up on these signs of what's going on. That's really going to help you in the long run when it pertains to you sticking true to this truth, man. All right. So we're not like these individuals, and we don't want to be like them. And we're not going to crash out. You're not going to see a video of a brother in GMS going on TikTok, going on Instagram or any other social platform talking about oh my God, I can't do it anymore. These gas prices are ridiculous. I tried to go to buy some Diet Coke yesterday, some DC, and it cost $20 for a case of 10. You're not going to hear us crashing out about some food, bro. And I heard an individual say, it's not necessary, because people say, you don't necessarily have to get Cheez-Its or hot Cheetos. You could buy vegetables, and vegetables are cheaper. And a dude made the point. He was just like, it's not necessarily about being more selective on what you buy. It's the fact that those prices have hiked up to the point to where you can't afford them anymore, which is primarily the issue. And to that I say you're absolutely right, and I'm happy it is. Okay. If more of you niggas ain't eating hot Cheetos and Cheez-Its and goddamn Top Ramen, the more you probably rationally think. 'Cause you ain't got all them chemicals mixed up in your gut. All right. Because just to be mindful, all of our thoughts stem from our belly. The scriptures say, he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, which is really your mind. But again, your gut is connected to your mind. Your gut does dictate the way that you think. You got all this excess of BS in your gut. It's going to be hard for you to process simple mathematics or even be rational. It makes a lot of sense why you niggas are crashing out, because you got 42 chemicals in one bag of chips that you out here eating, man. All right. Now, this ain't wrapped around diet, but the fact of the matter is that this is diet is a huge factor when it pertains to finances, because that's what people are all caring. That's what everybody cares about. Okay. How you going to be able to buy food? All right. But the fact of the matter is that Yahweh Shema Shai, he going to provide for us, man. And you best believe that. His servants is going to eat. Best believe that. And I firmly believe in that. Okay. So that's all I had to say. Esau crashing out. Nothing new, but it's something new, though. And we're glad to see it. I'm happy to see it, man. And may the Lord allow more turmoil to happen, so that more people have the same reaction as this Edomite. So with that, I give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shema, Shabbat, Shem Kakadash, Shen Kabaka, Willa Rakazu, Kenya, Ba'aithu, Shalom, Barak, Mabakar, and Shiasha, until next time, I can say Shalom.